Tech-savvy people of Reddit, what is a computer tip you are sure most haven't heard of? Control plus SHIFT plus V pastes whatever you have in your clipboard with all formatting removed. Except in the Office suite, because Microsoft says fuck you and makes you use that stupid pop-up paste menu. Shift plus mouse wheel scrolls left and right. If you like to play games with a controller on another monitor, you can move the screen to different monitors using Shift plus WINDOWS plus left or right arrow. I found this useful for games that don't allow monitor selection, since you'd normally have to change your primary display. If you constantly swap between accounts for the same service, for instance Google, Microsoft, some browsers let you set up profiles, Edge, Chrome, etc. For example, you might use Google for work and personal use and it's a pain, because it'll default to one account every time. If you set up two browser profiles you can keep them separate and both signed in. This one is simple, but holding the shift key in combination with other keys will often reverse the action of the other key. For example, asterisk spacebar on a web page scrolls down, shift plus SPACEBAR scrolls up. Asterisk tab on a web form will move the cursor forward to the next element in the form, shift plus tab moves you backward. It is usually a waste of time hitting the backspace key more than 2 or 3 times. Using CTRL plus backspace you delete the whole word. If you have issues sometimes with games and have an NVDIA GPU, delete everything in C /program data /NVIDIA corporation /downloader. Also, after many updates this directory might have a lot of old downloads taking up significant amount of space also. WinKey plus V keeps a history of all your recent text copies. So if you selected copy on multiple items you can choose which one to paste without having to go back to wherever you copied a word or phrase from. WinKey plus Shift plus S is great for taking screenshots of the whole screen or parts of the screen. Some more WinKey fun some folks don't know. Asterisk WinKey plus D navigates or hides the desktop. Asterisk WinKey plus E opens up the file explorer. Asterisk WinKey plus X opens a dialog where you can choose different settings. Asterisk WinKey plus Tab gives a nice overview of all different open apps to navigate through. Asterisk and many more. Control plus Windows key plus T only works for W10 asterisk. This will create a new desktop. You can switch between desktops using Control plus Windows key plus right/left arrow . To close those extra desktops you just made, Control plus Windows key plus F4 . It'll move any programs you have open. Asterisk grabbing a program, and shaking it will minimize every other program. Shaking it again will maximize them back up. CTRL-Y is redo. Everyone knows CTRL-Z, but somehow don't know the other. If you work in healthcare you really need to know that Win plus L immediately locks your computer. Useful for keeping eyes off patient data. UK keyboard configuration maybe? I was messing about a while ago to see what each Win plus thing was, and the emoji window came up from. Then a while after a colleague was saying I really want to add a laughing smiley, and I said to press Win plus, and they thought I was some sort of tech genius just from that. If you're like me, you probably don't remember everything you've put on your hard drive, and keep running out of free space. I recommend a program such as Wistree. Basically it gives you a graphical representation of what you got on your hard drive, so that you can delete those 25 gigs of WinROMs you downloaded last year into one of the 53,935 folders on your desktop, and had forgotten all about. uTorrent is a spyware but torrent faster and safer. When installing stuff on a new PC you can use Nilite.com to get all the common stuff downloaded at once. Reading the error message usually explains the error message. Deleting something doesn't magically make it disappear. If you delete something by mistake, it is fairly easy to recover it using specialized software. If you want something gone, you have to rewrite the sector multiple times. Google is your friend. Any problem you have, look for a solution on Google before paying a professional. Half the time that's what they do. Ctrl plus Shift plus T will reopen any closed tabs. Windows key plus will open the emoji panel if you feel the need to add some into whatever you're doing on a Windows 10 PC. Got a couple here. Always at least take a look at the custom options when installing a program. Never know if that installer is trying to sneak a potentially unwanted program in. With how often it resolves issues, turn it off and back on again. Yeah, everyone's heard of it, but seriously try this before calling support. More useful is, as mentioned by other, Ctrl plus Shift plus ESC opens Task Manager. What I mentioned is that it should work even if Explorer.exe is unresponsive. Use the always on top feature to make sure it never gets hidden by an unresponsive window. If at some point you are held at gunpoint and somebody says now, copy paste text without using the mouse or using the C, X, or V keys, you can use Shift Delete, Control Insert, and Shift Insert as cut, copy, and paste respectively. Shut down your PC automatically after X amount of time. Open command prompt, Windows key plus R, then type cmd.exe. Type. Shut down ST3600. Your PC will now shut down after 1 hour. 3600 seconds equals 1 hour. To cancel the automatic shutdown, type shutdown A. Of course this works with any amount of seconds. Asterisk 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 no shady program like you often find people use needed to shut down your PC. It's all built into Windows. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. When cleaning your PC, do not use vacuum cleaner. Use compressed air/air cans. Static electricity produced by vacuum suction through plastic tube could kill your motherboard and everything else with it. Also, fun fact, if you decide to remove/exchange some components inside your PC, after turning it off, remove power cable and then push power button a few times. That will discharge any powered capacitors inside, so you won't short anything during your job. Edit, random all caps and a fat finger typo. Windows Defender is pretty good as a standalone virus protection. Ctrl plus backspace delete, deletes whole words. Ctrl plus arrow keys, moves cursor whole words. Shift plus Ctrl plus arrow keys, selects whole words. Shift plus arrow keys, select single letters. Auto hotkey is great. Doesn't take much to make useful scripts. Personally mostly use them in games, like for example recently in RimWorld, there is no option to use thumb buttons on the mouse. So I made a script for that. Frequently when trading I've needed to spam clicks, same thing, script for that. Makes some things a lot more convenient. If you are looking for a way to discreetly browse Reddit at work/school and look productive, here are some good tools. Outlook, it makes the front page look like your email. Word, it makes it look like a Word document. CodeReddit, Reddit shell, makes it look like code. So Reddit makes it look like Stack Overflow. Clicking the cast button while watching gay porn will open your closet door. Ctrl plus Shift plus ESC to open Task Manager. F2 to rename a selected file. Sandboxy is a better alternative to Virtual Machine if you want to run programs or browsers in an isolated environment. In Notepad++, if you press Alt you can select multiple lines with your mouse, click, and drag, but only the columns you select get highlighted instead of the whole lines. They can track you in incognito mode. If you're going to do something memory intensive, for the love of God kill Chrome. If you open links in a new tab, CRTL plus CLICK, it simplifies navigation. Ctrl plus W closes that window when you are done, leaving you with the previous page that you clicked the link still open. On the Windows taskbar, create a new toolbar and point it to this PC/my computer/ whatever it's named for you. Drag it all the way to the left and shrink it as small as you can before you lock the taskbar again. Now by clubbing the little arrow that shows up, you can browse all your drives through menus without having to open a single window. I've been doing this since Windows XP. Edit. Glad to see people are blown away by this. All it takes is a click to open a file, or a double click to open a folder. I should post this in r/lifeprotips. There is a built-in Windows program for multiple screen capture and transcript called Step Recorder. Every time you click the screen it takes a screenshot. It can be paused. Once completed it creates a multimedia HTML file with all the session screenshots and a transcript on every Windows, control-click or keyboard entry. You can easily recover deleted files if they weren't overwritten, especially if it's on a USB or a low storage device. I use an app called Disk Digger. If you have bought or built a new PC, but have difficulties running your favorite games at high FPS, even though you have everything plugged in correctly, try swapping your HDMI cable to the GPU HDMI out and not the onboard motherboard HDMI out. Some dude played several years on integrated graphics and complained that his games ran at such an average speed, even though he paid a good amount of money on his GPU. Edit 1. He did not complain, but read on another thread of someone else finding out that he used the wrong HDMI out, double checked his HDMI out, and found out he himself played on his onboard graphics for 4 years. You can program the hell out of Excel spreadsheets. Turn it off, then turn it back on again.